Senator Amanda Chase.
Awesome. Good afternoon, Virginia. It's an honor to be here. And if you remember, just 2 years ago, we stood in this very place, only about 50 to 80,000 people, depending on whether you're watching the legacy media or reporting the truth. How many people were actually here? And it was such an honor to be here and to speak at that event. So many of you are here. Raise your hand if you were actually here 2 years ago. Absolutely. And that's thanks to the good leadership of President Philip Van Cleve and Pat Webb and the entire VCDL volunteer community. We are so forever ever grateful. Yes, I do have 100% VCDL score lifetime, and I can't believe it, but I've actually been in the state Senate for 8 years. I've voted against every single measure that would take away a law-abiding citizen's ability to protect themselves. I've voted against it every single time. And even, it's so important that you have legislators that are not just Republicans, but who truly live by and support the Second Amendment. Many of you all know I carry. I carry if I'm going to the gym. I carry wherever I'm going. And, I really want to dispel this fallacy, this lie that suburban women want gun control, because that is a lie. I am a suburban woman from Chesterfield County, and I do support my ability as a mother to protect my family from criminals that don't care what happens on July 1 and what gun control goes into place, because they're not going to follow it. I'm all against gun violence. But friends, if we would equip law-abiding citizens with a basic fundamental right that's God-given, put in our Constitution, then we wouldn't have many of the crimes that we have today. And I just want to walk us through history for just a moment. If you remember, in 2020, in January, is the very first election in which the Democrat trifecta controlled the state of Virginia. And what was the first thing they went after? They went after our gun rights. And then after they went after our gun rights and restricted and implemented, by the way, the localities, giving them the ability to create gun-free zones, which I'm introducing legislation again this year to repeal it. Because we do not need to turn law-abiding citizens into criminals, into felons, because of the patchwork of confusing legislation, which if you're somebody like me who ran statewide and had to keep up with an ordinance, when you're just driving in the course of a couple days, you could end up violating all these laws unintentionally and becoming a criminal, just simply by carrying. Listen, we want to do our best to create an environment in which law-abiding citizens feel safe, which is also why I am introducing a bill to repeal red flag laws, which, it's un-American. When do you repeal, when do we deny due process in America? I don't think it's right for a government agency to take away my ability to protect myself, and I haven't even been seen by a magistrate or a judge. We see this in other countries, but not America. Well, guess what? I have a Republican running against me that actually, thanks to his support of red flag laws, passed red flag laws here in Virginia. So it's not important that you just vote for a Republican, but you find a Republican that actually fully supports. Not only do I have a 100% rating with VCDL 8 years in a row, an A rating with the NRA, but friends, I carry IPAC every single day. And that's why I understand the legislation and how it affects suburban moms, suburban dads, anywhere you belong. Go back to my story here when I told you the first thing they did is they came after our Second Amendment rights. Who's the second group of people they came after? Our law enforcement. They wanted law enforcement to quit. They wanted to eliminate qualified immunity. And what do you think these law enforcement officers did? We barely pay them what they're worth. And they're like, I can't financially support a liability here. Should I be caught in the line of duty and stripped of my ability to provide for my family. And we had a lot of law enforcement to quit. So they're taking away your guns, taking away your ability to protect yourself, taking away law enforcement. And what does that make us all? They want us to become what? Victims. Do we want to be victims? No. So let's fast forward. The people rise up. Even people who are not politically involved or active got involved in politics like they've never seen before. That's why we saw the huge rally back in 2020. Because whenever you take a person's fundamental right to protect themselves, it's the very next step, then you have socialism. Because if they can take your guns, then they can take every other constitutional right that you have. And that's why it's so important. It's not just about hunting. It's not just about an exercise. This is about protecting your most basic, fundamental, constitutionally protected right against terrorists, not only just foreign, but domestic. Remember? Domestic. That's why we need the Second Amendment. We've got to protect it. The good news is Governor Youngkin won, and so we took back the governor's mansion. We took back the lieutenant governor, the attorney general. We won back the House. We went from being in reverse to being in neutral. And in order to win again and to go in forward and become Virginia again, we must keep the House, but now we also have to win back the Senate of Virginia. That's what we have to do. But we can't win back the Senate with just any Republican. We need Republicans that actually live, think, and breathe the Second Amendment. God bless you, everyone. And I have a petition here. If you live in Chesterfield, if you live in Colonial Heights, come see me. I'm trying to get my name on the ballot because I need 250 signatures. Come see us over here by the flags, and you can sign the petition to get my name on the ballot because we're going to make Virginia great again. Thanks, everyone.